What's going on, guys? Chris here. So I am doing a video on RC cars because I've recently gotten into the hobby. Excuse me a minute, I'm just shutting off the fan. I was soldering the connection for RCs. So I wanted to do a video. I've done a couple. I'm probably going to put them all together. I've been finding some modifications to do and doing them. I've been doing a lot of modifications really, and then I ended up with, I think I'm on my sixth RC. I just got a Traxxas XRT Ultimate. That's the biggest one and the most expensive one that I've gotten. But I got this actually I got it on Facebook Marketplace from somebody who bought it 3 months earlier. And I got it in brand new condition. Like literally, I got it dirtier driving it once than it was when I got it. And I got that with two Spectrum Smart batteries for $800. And you know, there's a lot of aluminum parts on this. And after seeing all the prices, it's easily $1,000 worth of aluminum upgrades. I did do more upgrades already, and I still have more coming. I got the stainless steel underbelly that's also a chassis support. I got the this is the second bulkhead, upper bulkhead that I'm putting in aluminum. I got aluminum differentials and hardened steel gears that are spiral gears. And I already did the front. I'm doing the rear right now. I started the video before I finished so I could show you the rear going together. But also I'll show you, so the Arma Creighton is the one that I really did the most on. I'll show you that. And then I also, for that Traxxas, honestly, ever since I bought a sledge, brand new, and then I bought this, and ever since I started buying Traxxas, I wish that I had bought them first, because I don't think I'd have any Armas, or maybe one, because Traxxas is just built so much better, the build quality, especially when you take it apart like I do and really get into it, you really see how much better the quality is, and Traxxas just makes a much better vehicle. They really do. So I'll show you, sorry, I was actually soldering to the ESC battery connection. So this is the motor that I got. It's a monster. This is an 1100 kilovolt Hobbywing, easy run. And then I got the Max 5 250 amp ESC. So this is going to be going into that car, to the XRT. And the XRT's over here. This is the sledge right here. I'll show you some of the stuff I did to this while I'm here. I did do the light kit, but I did have a bad experience with this. At first when I got it, I ran one battery through it and it worked just fine. And by the time I started it up the second time, it died on me almost instantly. The ESC was bad or went bad, and they sent me another one. I'm waiting to get it from UPS, but I sent that other one in and they sent me out a new one, which, I mean, their warranty support obviously was good. Excuse me 1 second. Obviously was good, but I put a Firma in it, the 150 amp Spectrum Firma with a Firma motor. This is a 2050 kilovolt. And then obviously I put the gear, all the aluminum parts except for the center brace, the T-brace. These braces in the back I put in, this gearbox cover, the fan, all the other stuff that's on it. And then this also has a stainless steel, I have to put the shock back on this one, but it's got aluminum shock towers. It came with that. I did the aluminum differential housings, and then I custom made like that big aluminum piece in the front that retains the pinch bolts. I mean the hinge pins, because I've been using high-speed steel. I've been using high-speed steel bar stock to make my hinge pins like this. I've been using pieces of this type of high-speed steel is what it's what like milling bits and drilling bits are made of. It's a very, very hard steel. So the steel stuff, like I ordered a steel drive shaft for the center drive of the XRT that's over there taken apart. That's like a mid-carbon steel, which is like a 1018. The high-speed steel is in a totally different league than that. It's so much more. It's so much stronger. It is a little more brittle, but it takes a crazy amount of force to actually get it to break. but it will break before it bends. Anyways, these are a bunch of tires that I got, trenchers, and then some other off-road tires. There's another set of trenchers on this one. But then I rebuilt an Arma Outcast 4S, which can now take 6S. This is the Creighton over here. So now this one I did totally, like top to bottom. It's a new ESC. That's a 160 amp Firma and a 1250 kilovolt Spectrum motor. And then I did obviously everything, the wheelie bar, the arms, even the tie rod end links. The suspension have special springs from the guy from East Tactics. Check out his channel if you're interested in getting really good springs. He did a lot of research, and they worked great for me. The stainless steel underbelly, the servo. That's a Savox servo. I did the GPS with the telemetry receiver, and I did a 3D printed bumper that the pad for the bumper anyway, the elastic for the bumper, all the control arms in the front, like every single metal part, every single part is on here is metal. The only things left that are plastic are the sidewalls and the fin. That's it. Everything else is metal. And I changed the gearing, and this thing's a monster. I mean, it steers hard. It's crazy fast. I had this thing up to 101 miles an hour, and I can show you that. And then I built the Typhon, the Arma Typhon. I rebuilt the Arma Typhon, and I did the same thing with that. Where did I just put it? I just had it. It's around here somewhere. I just had it. Hold on 1 second. And then I'm going to get back to, and the Creighton also, I got new aluminum housed differential housings, and I did I got hardened steel gears, which I also got for the XRT, which I'll show you what I mean. But the gears inside the differential are hardened steel, so it makes for a really, my mic fell down. It makes for a really robust differential, which is something you need because the differentials are very important on these, and they go, if you don't, if you're rough on them, you end up blowing them out. And I didn't do the limited slip, I just did the straight differential, but I did it with these hardened steel gears, and I actually have some extra hardened steel gears for that one, and I'll show them to you. This is the Typhon here. So everything is done on this. I'll take the pins off and show it to you. I did everything aluminum on this car too. And then I put these dust covers underneath because that keeps all the electronics clean while you're driving it. And then there's a couple of zippers you can undo when you want to get to everything. Hold on 1 second, I need one more hand. For 1 second, there we go. Okay, and that's a 150 amp Firma. It's a BETU servo, 70 kilogram. And it's also red. I did the whole red theme on this. But both Traxxas are all blue. I did the wing mount is aluminum. It's same thing as the other one. The sidewalls and the wing are the only thing left that's plastic. Every single other part is aluminum, or is either aluminum or steel. So the hinge pins that I do, I've been machining the brackets. Like that one I did out of aluminum, but the others, like on the Arma, I'll show you. I did it out of 1018 steel, the hinge pin retainer. I don't know if you can see it right there, but right behind the bumper elastic, whatever, there's a piece of 1018 steel that I machined the holes for the screws and countersunk them, and then I did recessed holes that aren't all the way through for the larger hinge pins to sit in, because they're 4.5 millimeters thick high-speed steel. So this is the first differential that I did on the XRT. That's the internals and the housing from the first one, and the output shafts. So that one's already installed, and the cover for it is installed. that's the only one of the only few parts that don't come on this aluminum already. The differential cover already came on it. If you can see that, it's in there, right there. So that already came aluminum. But so this is, it's kind of buried now, but I put it back together. It's right there. The part that goes on the top of the differential, and that actually that the pins for the upper arms go through. So that's a big benefit. And then this is the top for the back one, and then the gearbox cover was original too. And then this is the parts for the other differential that I'm going to build right now with you guys. This is the part that I replaced. And I didn't even know, but this part was already broken on one side. So that's a common part to break between the differential and all the force of the control arm. That's a common part to break. And then this differential, this upper, the bulkhead cover, I have coming in this coming week. But I'm rebuilding this. I have the mod 1.5 gears. I have those now too. I have some of them now. I have the pinion and spur, but the this other shaft and the other gear I have coming in new as well. So this is going to be a new gear, and the shaft is going to be new, and I'm going to replace this gear and this gear right now, but I'm going to replace them with just those same two type of gears in 1.5, and then when the rest of the stuff comes in, I'll replace the rod and the other gear. But I'm going to rebuild that diff real quick. I've done a lot of them, so it's getting to be a pretty quick thing. So you won't have to bear with me too much. It's not going to take very long. But it's such a big car. I just do it on the mat on the floor here because I have these rubber mats on my workshop floor. This is my small workshop, but if you guys have seen my videos, you know that I have a big machine shop in the back, but I'm doing this in the small shop like I usually do most of this kind of stuff. So I'll put you over here. No, I gotta tip it down more so you can see what I'm doing. Oh no, you can see. That's the car right there. Maybe I'll bring you a little bit closer if I can find a spot. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, so I have everything apart right now. I'm going to, the differential's coming out. I can already take it out. I just got to get this arm out. There we go. All right, so that's the differential. I'm just taking it out. And then I'm putting, I have some 100 weight coming in, but I've been using 50 weight with a little bit of 500 because I had 500 for the center diff, and I recently got 1 million for the center diff. So I'm doing I'm just doing like a dab of 500 to try to add up to around 100. So it's a guesstimate, but I'm not too concerned about it. It's not going to hurt anything if it's not exact. So these are so much more beefy. Oh, while I'm at it, let me just show you the metal gears before I start on this. The internal gears for these are right here. So these are for the Traxxas models. For this size Traxxas model, they're the much bigger, beefier gears. So these are the sun gears. They go on the top and the bottom, and these actually screw in, not like the others with the pin. And then these are the 4 gears that go on the sides. So it comes just with that. These are like $50 just for this, but they're hardened steel. They're really incredibly strong and resilient. These are the mod 1.5 gears with the adapters. I do have a couple other pinion gears that I'm not sure which tooth count I'm going to use yet, but you'll see me install those. I've already done the other one, and then I have the aluminum housing for it. And this is the main gear and the output gear, and these are both helical. So these are the gears. They're all hardened steel. I actually had to get these separate from this kit. So this is what I'm going to be using on the outside, and what I did on the front as well. So that's going to all go together. I'm going to take that apart and put it together like that. And if you guys are into RCs, I'm sure you know how to do a differential, but I'm just going to show you the quality of the stuff that I got. And I'll put links in the description for where I got it, because I got pretty good prices on this stuff. Most of it's through Amazon, but it's through like other sellers that sell on Amazon. So anyways, I'll show you where I got everything. But and I'll also show you how it works. I'm going to take this thing for a nice burst. And then I picked up the tires too, the Proline Badlands, because I had ordered these once by mistake for one of my other 1/8 scales, and these are much too big for it. And they're very hard, and these are good tires. And I was kind of upset that they were too big for it, because I got the size smaller, and they were nothing like this. They weren't beadlock. They were so much softer. And then when I got a car that was big enough, I ordered them again, and now obviously I'm going to use those. But anyways, I'm glad I had a car to use them on, because those are just such higher quality. It's incredible. But I have pretty much everything open. I have to just open this last. This is the part that I'm actually going to be replacing right here. One of them, other than the differential. That's the bulkhead for the front, or I'm sorry, for the rear. So this was the front one, and this is the back one. So I'll hang on to at least this one, because this one's not broken yet. But this is the aluminum one. It's going to be going back there, and these are also, I got new output shafts, output cups that are much beefier. So I just wanted to do this right before this stuff broke. I'll save the parts, and if I have to use them in a pinch, I will. But I wanted to just get some really heavy, beefy stuff, because this is a much heavier car, and my Creighton is pretty heavy. I've done a lot of modifications to it. It's almost 20 pounds now. So with that being said, this is still a much heavier, bigger car. So yeah, these are the output cups. They're much beefier than the originals. If you can see, it's kind of like beveled in there. It still has the holes on the side, the slots on the side for the dog bone, and then I have the sleeves coming in that are going to go over that. Those are actually supposed to be getting delivered today. So we'll see. Hopefully they get here soon. And then I'm just going to show you briefly the gears for the hardened steel gears for the Arma stuff. If I could find where I put them. I just had a set. Oh, I think I put them in my toolbox with all the differential stuff over here. Yep. Okay. So this is BRKRC. That's what I got these on Amazon. BRK. Oh no, I'm sorry. These are the ones for this car. This is an extra set for this car, because that's because I'm going to do the center diff with them as well. But I did just have a set for the Creighton. Where the heck did I put those? They're pretty much the same, only they're smaller, because all the Creighton differentials are small. Even the Slash, not the Slash, the Sledge. I keep thinking Slash because it's such a popular car. Everywhere I look for parts, I find Slash parts. The parts for the Slash for the Sledge, the differential in the Sledge is so much beefier than that differential in the Arma. That's one of the things that made me think, like, what am I buying these Armas for? This is crazy. I mean, they're not making them anywhere near as well. Don't get me wrong, I like the Armas, but had I bought the Traxxas first and gotten used to that, I think I would have been thinking differently, because if I was seeing those differentials and those internal parts of the car before the Traxxas, my standards would have been higher, and I would have saw the Traxxas and thought it was junk. So I probably would only end up with one, like I said. So that's my thinking anyway. But I'm not upset about it. They're very fast. I'm glad I got the ones that I got, because I do enjoy them. And more importantly, my dog enjoys them, which is what got me into this hobby. I took him to run at the park that I bring him to, and he saw there was a bunch of guys there who I've since met and started driving these with, and I built a ramp, and they have some ramps, and we go and jump them together. But I brought him there to run, and he saw them driving the trucks, and he was all into it, chasing the trucks and everything. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna get one of these so that I can take him here and have something to do and have something to play with him with, and that's what I did. And he enjoys it, like he enjoys the hell out of it. He really does. He has a great time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I think I just got these. I don't think I got the others. But anyways, if you do get them, I'll put a link to those so you guys can see which one. Oh, here they are. I did get them. I'm not wrong. I did get them. So I got 2 extra sets. I have one in the front and one in the back right now, and I got 2 extra sets. So they just come with the 2 sun gears and then the 4 gears for the internal gears. You provide your own rods and all that, and these are $30 a set for this one, for the Creighton. So these 2 were like $60-something with tax. But you need hardened steel gears, especially when they're smaller, but also especially when they're bigger and you have a bigger car that weighs more and all that. So these are the original gears that I took out of the first one. I mean, I'm going to take this one apart, so I'll show you the comparison next to each other. And even the output shafts are much better, the ones that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to take this one apart. And I love that Traxxas uses all silicone gaskets. They don't have any paper gaskets like Arma. It's just like everything screams quality. I mean, they even went so far as to make the silicone gaskets in this model blue, because the Ultimate Edition only comes in 2 colors, blue and green, and these are blue like everything else on the car, but they're silicone, which is like really a really high level of detail. And I love that these output shafts screw in. They're not like held in by a pin like on the Arma. They just screw in, which is awesome. So the only things I need from this are the gaskets. There's 3 gaskets, and then I need the bearings. I'm gonna clean that one off real quick. I'm not going to need the sun gear or the drive gear, so I'm going to just clean this bearing off and put this on. Okay. All right, that's going to be on there, and then this is my inside gear. The hardened steel gear goes in there. Oh, I need my bushing. Oh, that's right. I do have to take this out because I need the gasket underneath it. So see, more blue silicone gaskets. I'm going to put this in here, and then I'm going to put my hardened steel gear. You can tell just by the color. You know, you see the color of the hardened steel versus the color of even the standard gears, the OEM gears. It's a big difference. They go from like a silverish, almost has a bronze hint to it, to a black steel. Like a black hardened steel, like both of these gears, and all the internal gears, and that's the strongest that you're gonna get, because high-speed steel is so hard to work with. You don't find parts like this made out of high-speed steel. It's very complicated, and it's very challenging to work with. It's not very complicated. It's just it makes it complicated. It makes something that's, if you're a machinist or you do a lot of machining, it's not complicated, but this makes it complicated because it just doesn't want to cut. It's not like other material, and then you have to start doing, your process is all different because it won't work otherwise. It's not far in enough to grab it. Still not grabbing. I'm gonna put this over in my vise. I'll lift you guys up a little bit for, actually, you know what? It'd probably be better if I put you over here or over here. And that'll look a little more distant, but you can at least see everything that's going on. Well, you can probably see my plumber's butt because I got my wife beater's not quite long enough. So I have just a little baby vise in here that I'm gonna use because I need to push this together, and then I can tighten that screw up. I think that's a delivery right there. Yep. All right. Excuse me 1 second. I got Amazon here with the rest of my stuff. Hello. What's up, dude? Thank you. Appreciate you. Oh, you need a picture? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm following the instructions, the code and everything. So.
You got something with a code?
Yeah, it's one time only.
Oh, you do need a code?
No.
Oh, that's my notes. Yeah, for yesterday. No, yeah. I usually put it in the notes in case I'm not here. You guys can just leave it.
Yeah. One more thing.
It's safe. I got cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
You good? Thank you so much. Have a great day, bud. Okay. Some of this is stuff that's not relevant to this. I have like undershirts and socks and stuff that I ordered. Obviously not something that you're going to need to see. What's this? Oh, that's just a screwdriver, a hobby screwdriver kit for this type of stuff, but no parts. And then this is a Traxxas light bar for the XRT. Okay, so nothing really relevant for this. All right. I might actually be able to use some of these screwdrivers right now, though. Not that I don't have enough, but they get worn, and then they don't stop stripping the gears. Oh, this is just the stand. They came with screwdrivers, but I guess they'll come tomorrow. Excuse me 1 second. I'm gonna pause the video. This is from FedEx. Hello. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I just didn't want to be talking to FedEx on the video because I've been kind of frustrated with them, but actually the guy that's been helping me has been great. So it was actually a very, even though they're not giving me the information I want, it was still a very cordial call. So I just threw that light bar in real quick if you guys are curious about the XRT light bar, and I already did the one in the back. It's on the body. I'll show you when we're done with this. But anyway, so what was I doing? Taking the differential apart, and then I'm going to do the gears. The center diff I'm going to leave alone for now, other than changing the output gear, or the input gear rather, or no, it's the output gear from that. So I'm going to just change this gear, and then I'm going to the helical gear that goes with that, and then I'm going to put some retaining compound for some Loctite 608 onto the shaft so it doesn't pull back, because from what I understand, these are notorious for when you slow down, they skip teeth because they're trying to back out into so I'm having a brain fart. They're trying to back out into the gear on the differential. So I'm going to put some 608 on it on the end right here. This is Loctite 608 retaining compound. And I'm going to put this on the spline shaft, even though I'm actually going to have to take this out in several days because I have a two-piece aftermarket drive shaft coming. But I'll be able to get it out. Heat, just use heat. Apply heat and you'll get it out. Does that not go in as far? Oh shoot, tell me I used the wrong gear for the wrong thing. I think I might have. I totally did. This gear needs to be in the front. That means I have to take the front back apart. Son of a bitch. Wow, that sucks. Well, the good news is that I've taken it apart once already, and I know how to do it pretty easily. And so it'll be relatively quick, and I can show you guys the parts that I installed. So those are the only two benefits. Trying to look on the bright side here. But I'm going to take apart this differential and finish the differential itself, and then I'll do that. So I have the input gear for the differential. Where did I just put that other? There we go. Let me see if the screw will reach now. It should definitely reach now. Yeah, the vise pushed it right together. It's brand new hardened steel, so the hardening process leaves it a little, yeah. Oh yeah, that's in there. That's in there like swimwear. It does need to go a little tighter though. Let me just cramp it down on the vise while I do that. Oh, I gotta turn the camera down. Sorry about that, guys. I'll turn it down in just 1 second. But yeah, there was two different differential shafts, which I'm not really used to because this is my first time going this far on this car, and the 1/8 cars don't have that. The 1/5 cars from this car, what I'm experiencing now is that they're a lot different. I mean, they're still the same concept, still the same type of design, but just a lot of different intricacies compared to the 1/8 because they're so much larger and they need so much higher strength that they had to obviously make some modifications. Yeah, that's still got too much play. I need to tighten it more. I don't want that gasket moving up and down at all, really. I just want it to turn smoothly. There we go. Tighten it down more with the vise, push them together more with the vise. As it gets further in, it gets tighter because the stuff that's on it right now, keeping it from pushing together, is getting in there, like it's piling up as you push it against it, which is what makes it the dark color. All right, let's see. Now I should be able to, this is definitely already in the right spot now. That's it. Okay, we're good. So I'm going to show you this real quick. So it was pushing up and down where I could see the blue gasket, and now it's not moving. And it still spins freely, but it's not moving up and down. So that's where we need it. And I'm going to bring you down here so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So let me get these sockets out of the way. This is the underbelly, and then this is the center and the sides, and then the front and back. I'll show you this real quick. These are great. I have these on the sledge. I have them on the Creighton, and now on this. Because rather than just the center brace, I wanted to do something that covers the whole chassis underneath, as well as the front and back, because these pieces go up around the front, like as another bumper, and see a XRT on it, and an XRT on the back. But these are like an additional bumper that nothing ever ends up hitting the bumper itself, the actual bumper, because these get right in the way of it hitting the bumper, which it's a huge level of protection. And then they also hold together that bottom part in the front in the back with the steering. So they're definitely a huge support. And this is less expensive than most of the center braces and way more effective, because you have your center brace out of stainless steel, which is going to be stronger than even 7075 aluminum, like a lot stronger. 7075 aluminum is 4 times stronger than 6061, but no aluminum is anywhere near stainless steel, or even carbon steel for that matter. 1018 steel even, it's nowhere near. So these are going to go like that on each side. This is in the middle, and the middle one is a lot thicker, so this will be a lot more supportive. So that's your center brace right there, and your whole undercarriage protection, and your front and rear. And this was like $60 compared to like 70 or 80 for the center brace, and you have no protection on any of the bottom or the front or back like this gives you. So it's the obvious choice, in my opinion. I mean, to each their own, but that's the way I see it. All right, so now I need to grab a paper towel. I'm gonna use this one that has the other gears and stuff on it. And then that's my extra gears from the other one. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, oh yeah, see, even these two input shafts are different. The originals, yeah, I don't know why I didn't realize that. I didn't look at the other one. I didn't know that they had two different ones. So that's definitely something to make note of. They are two different input shafts. So now I have to take the other one out and put it back here and switch them. If I had known that, I would have avoided that, but live and learn. That's how you learn stuff, is by making mistakes. Okay, and then take these out and these out. And then the other sun gear I just need again for the gasket. Where did I put that 2.5 millimeter? Here we go. And then I gotta hold that still. Okay. Okay, I need the bearing. And I'm gonna need that in the inner gasket, but not just yet. I'll put that over here. And it has little risen spots to hold the gasket in place too. It's just so much better designed, so much better made, so much more well thought out. After dealing with so many Arma ones, it's just such a dramatic difference, even to from the 1/8 to the 1/8. If you see, I wish I had one taken apart, a sledge differential, because I did the same thing with those. I put hardened steel gears. I put the hardened steel gears inside and outside. I put the aluminum housings because I really don't like plastic differential housings. I think that's a really bad idea. I mean, I'm sure they last a little while, but you have to rebuild them semi-frequently. Hopefully a lot less with these hardened steel gears, but you definitely still have to. So, you know, why make them out of plastic when the screws going in and out is going to destroy them. Okay, so where's my hardened steel other gear? There we go, sun gear. There's the other sun gear, and then I need my other output. Where's my other new output? No, those are the old ones. That's an old one. 3, 4, that's the other old one. That's the new one. Okay, that one slid in nice and easy. Now I need my bolt. Okay. Something like this, I'm changing the gears and probably the feel of the differential to a degree that I wouldn't want to do one at a time. I wouldn't want to do the front without doing the rear, or vice versa, because you're going to notice you're going to be getting like a lot of power to one side and not the other, or whichever one it is. It's going to definitely be. I did that on the Creighton, and it had so much power in the rear wheels I couldn't even drive it because it wouldn't drive straight. It was just burning out the whole time, frying the tires. Okay. And they're smart about making these, because even though these gears are bigger, the hole is smaller. And the hole is smaller because it leaves more meat on the. You don't have a lot of stress on the small rod in the middle that's just locking them in place. You know, against the outside of the differential. It's not getting a ton of force on that. And I mean, these are hardened steel as well. Or I think actually these didn't come with the hardened steel gears. I imagine they have to be some kind of a hard steel, but I don't think they need much strength, obviously, because these are not I haven't seen anybody say that these were breaking in the XRT. So obviously they're strong enough, but it more importantly leaves you more material on the gear, which is definitely a better place for the material to be. Okay, that's that. Now this one. This is one of the. Where's my last hardened steel right there? Okay. Okay, these can come off. Oh, tell me, I didn't put the damn bearing on there. What a moron. It's because I'm getting phone calls from FedEx and Amazon showing up and all this while I'm trying to do this and record it. And then I lose focus on something. All right, let's see. There you go on here. There you go, get in your other. All right, now let's get that. Oh, it's already locked in. Beautiful. The bottom one wasn't lining up with it to receive the top one all the way into it. It still seems like it's not. No, it's not. There we go. Much better. Oh, beautiful. Let me show you guys how this turns. Okay, so that's all the hardened steel gears in there, and I gotta hold it down a little bit for it to hit them all because there's nothing holding it down other than me right now. But you see, they work nice and smooth. They work nice and smooth when they're being held down, but also it needs fluid. So, but I'm gonna put this together and put the gasket in it, and then I'm going to take the front back apart so I can get that piece out. I'll probably pause the video for that so you guys don't have to watch me do it all over again, even though you didn't see me take it apart the first time. Who says you actually want to see me take it apart the first time? So I'll definitely turn it back on while it's apart so you can see the new parts that I put in and see all that stuff. Oh, here's the one that I mixed. I want you to see that part. But the rest of it I don't think is going to be valuable to you, so I don't want to waste your time. So what I'll do is, yeah, I'll bring you back once I have all the front stuff off, and then I'll bring you back again once I have it back together, or once I have it once I'm working back on the back, because I'm not going to put the back together obviously because I can't put this shaft in, this other gear for this in. So yeah, this actually looks like I got pretty close to 100K. I mean, obviously I have no way to tell, but it's got to be fairly close. Because it's definitely not like the 500, and it's definitely thicker than the 50. So I mean, that leaves a lot of room, obviously, but it's somewhere in the middle there, for sure. Okay, now let me dry this off so I don't get any in the holes, so I can get my Loctite to engage. Alright, now where's the top piece I made? Right there. Let me Loctite the holes real quick. I'm just going to use the blue Loctite on this. I use the blue 242. And the red that I use is 277, so I really only use that on a few things on these, like the pinion gear. Very little else because it's just too strong. You'll never get it off. You'll end up stripping screws, which I've stripped more than a couple on these things, and then I just drill them out on the mill and rethread it with my thread tapping machine. So I mean, I have the equipment to fix it, so it's not the end of the world, but it's not something I'm looking forward to doing, so I don't try to do it. I try not to do it. But if you don't have that type of equipment, you definitely don't want to be doing it. Because to drill and tap that by hand in a tight spot like that is very difficult. I mean, I guess I'm still doing it by hand. They're manual machines, but like I'm not doing it with a hand drill, you know. Let's see. Right there. There we go. All right, let me put these screws in and let you guys see how smooth this thing is when it's done. I'm going to use these stainless screws that came with it. Oh, that goes up there. So I just use my Milwaukee Impact. This is the Stealth Impact, the hydraulic one, so it's quiet, but it doesn't, I don't really let it impact anyway. It's on number 1. So I just let it get, you know, close to where I'll torque it down by hand. And then I have a torque screwdriver that I can do it to an exact torque. And when I don't know the torque, I generally use the torque screwdriver when I remove it, so that I know what the torque was when I took it out, and then I'll put it back in at the same torque. All right. This is the torque screwdriver. Are you dead or something? Of course it is. This is why I buy so many rechargeable double and AAA batteries, because the amount of batteries that you go through when you have like a decent amount of stuff that uses batteries is like, for instance, your RC controllers. I'm sure we all go through a ton of batteries on our RC controllers, but I've bought all, and these are lithium, they make lithium triple and double A rechargeable batteries now. So they last a really long time. This is the first time I'm changing these since I got this torque screwdriver. So that goes to show you, I mean, they've lasted a really long time in here. It's probably 6 months since I bought this one. I have a manual one, I mean an analog one rather, and that one works just fine, but I wanted one a little where I could see a little more precisely what the numbers were. So that's why I got the digital one. All right, I'm going to just snug them, and then I'll go back and torque them. And you do them, you know, crisscross like you would a car tire. Oh, shit. Oh, I forgot that bearing, but you know what? I should be able, yeah, I could just unscrew that from outside and put it on. That I love. That is amazing. All right, so I'm going to torque this one, and then I'll go across. So I'm going to 15 inch-pounds. Okay. 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 That's that. Okay, now let me take this piece out. All right. Nice and smooth. You can hear them a little bit, but they're brand new gears they got to wear in. Okay, now I'm gonna, oh, I didn't even need the vise. I thought it was gonna give me a hard time. This is the side that went in nice and easy too, so it won't be hard to pull it out. Oh, slid right out. All right, put my bearing on. can screw that back in. Now I'm going to take apart the front and switch those input gears. I'm going to pause the video. I will bring you guys back. I'm just going to pop the front apart real quick, swap out the front one, and I have that one with the retaining compound as well, so I'm going to have to get that. It shouldn't be too dry yet, but it's probably pretty dry by now. It's probably not going to be all that easy. So I'll get that out, and then I'll switch them, and I'll bring you back with it open so you can see those parts that I put in and the other differential. And then I'll bring you back again once I put it back together and I'm finishing this up. All right, guys, see you in a few. Later. All right, guys, all done. That took all of 5 minutes. So the back one is in. I took it out of the front, and that's in, ready to go. And the front one and this, they're both in their correct spots, and they're all set. So this is the part that I put in the front. So now once the differential goes back, which this is this one, and I like to see they put the little groove so you don't put it in the wrong spot. See that little line there? You can only put it on one side, which is pretty cool. All right, yep, that's gonna be nice. All right, and then that goes, I gotta finish putting the rest of the stuff back on, but if you guys wanna see how this goes back together, I'll put you back on the tripod, and I'll bring you over there so you can see how it goes back together. Once I take stuff apart one time, I can pretty much remember how it goes, for the most part. I'm not perfect, but I do this kind of stuff quite a bit. Disassembling and reassembling things, sometimes just for fun. So here we are. I'll show you how I'm going to put it back together. All right. So we got our differential in, and we're going to do the differential cover in this next. Okay. I was taking the bolts out with on number 2, but I always put them in with number 1. Or actually with this is even better, because you can set the torque on this one. It goes nice and slow, but you can set how much torque it has. So you just have to take the center part of the bell crank apart, this centerpiece. So you got to take out of that. I need one more up front right here. There's no point Loctiting these; they're going into plastic. So, but I'm gonna need my blue Loctite for the ones going into from metal to metal. Which this car, I decided not to do the aluminum arms. I mean, this is a lot thicker plastic, which is one reason, but primarily because I want there to be a failure point that's easy to get to. I don't want all the failure points to be like in a really difficult spot. So the bearings on the bottom of the bell crank came out. I got to put these in, and I'll put that back together. Okay. That's the only piece of the steering you have to take out to get to that. Those were already Loctited from the last time. That's at 2.5 also. And then I will show you this thing taking a rip after I'm done. I'm going to take it outside and take it for a burst. I'm going to put the bottom cover on and put the rest of this stuff together. The lights in. I just got to run the wire to the amplifier module. And once I do that, I'll take it outside and bring you guys with me with the GoPro, and we'll take it for a rip. All right. I generally put the Loctite inside the holes, but except when it's horizontal or vertical the opposite way. So I torqued the ones down into the differential pretty good, the differential housing. Obviously in the differential as well, but in the differential housing also. This one was a little too long. I gotta use a shorter one right there. I'll put that where I need a longer one. This one can go there. That one's already got one right there. That's for that one. And there's 5 screws in the front of this. There's one on each side on the top, one on each side in the bottom, and then in the very, very bottom middle behind the bumper, there's one more. And then I did also order the set of these that comes with, I think, 6 of them. These are for the steering, which now it's going through both pieces of aluminum here, and then you could put another one in the back, which I may skip if I don't have the extra length, because I'm not going to cut the aluminum out for it. It's for cutting out the plastic, but for all the others that don't have aluminum mounts, like just the front and back top are going to have aluminum mounts. So the bottoms and the front and back with that set that I got, and then I got all. I will drill these holes out bigger through everything to use the ones that have, they're threaded and you put a nut on the other side. I ordered that kit as well. I mean, and all that stuff is relatively cheap. Let's see, where am I? Okay, next piece is this. I don't know what song I got in my head, sorry. Alright, let's put a couple in there. Get that locked down. So I live in Connecticut and the weather is back and forth, hot to cold, hot to cold. My nose is running like I got a cold or something because it's like 40 something degrees out today, and just last week it was in the 70s. Connecticut weather sucks. Okay, then we got the 2 up front. This one is next, right? Is there something else first? Oh shoot, I screwed up. These 2 kind of interlock, so it's kind of hard to remember which one goes first. Like this front part of this part that I just put on goes on top of this, but everything else goes like alongside of it, so I always think it's that one first. Or it's only been a couple times, but that's what's happened. Alright, so if I just lift that one up and slide this one back, there we go, perfect. Alright, and then most of these screws I lifted the holes for this, the ones that would stay. Hitting, oh shoot, it's hitting the freaking the thing on the battery box. Stupid. this one is too. These battery boxes, I gotta say, especially since with 8S, you're generally always doing two 4S batteries. It's nice to have two battery boxes, and they're not a whole lot bigger than the Sledge, but with the Sledge, you're 6S, and I generally use one 6S battery compared to two 3S, but it doesn't make it very convenient, so I took the box out, and I got this kit that has like a couple of blue aluminum anodized things that go in the side where the door hinges go, and I replaced the door hinges and I put Velcro straps. Oh, that's too short for this one. See, so I mean, I don't keep track of every screw every time like that, but you can always tell, because if it's too short, it's not going to grab. If it's too long, it's going to grab too soon. So you just change it. Plus, I have all these screws. I have extra. I have so many extra M4, M3, M2, M2.5, M5, M6. I have every metric size in stock in my shop, like all the time, because I use a lot of. I prefer everything metric, frankly. I would like to use everything metric, but with machining, I have to do things in thousandths of an inch, because that's primarily what almost everybody uses in machining. And I got to tighten up those other screws that I had started loosening over here. And we're just about there. With this part back together, back where I should have already been, but hey, we're there now almost. All right, let's put the shocks in the shock towers. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do the arms first so I can get the dog bones in. Let's get these dog bones in their home. Get in your home, you little shit. There you go. Oh yeah, those are much beefier. I like those a lot. The outputs from the differential for the dog bones are much beefier, much beefier. And then these upper arms that are out to let that happen are in a much better place like this. Oh, and then this metal piece goes on the outside. You're essentially just doubling that up by using the other one. But I think it's a great idea, so that's why I could have made those easily, but they were cheap enough that it was worth just grabbing them rather than taking the amount of time it would have took. Because while instead of making those, I could be doing this. Boom. Okay, and the ones that are slightly longer go to the upper arms, the slightly shorter ones go to the shocks. And the shocks are going to be those same through bolts with the nut on the other side as well, because I don't really like these pins being locked in by a button head M3. Alright, perfect. Shocks. Let's get this thing. I need a bigger stand because that thing ain't gonna cut it. Alright, now I have little spacers for these, for the shocks. They're a pain in the butt. Let's see if I can get those in. Such a pain in the butt. There we go. That. this one. And we're just about there already, guys. Not too bad. Yeah, it took even shorter to take it apart. It's these little things like this that take longer putting it back together. But then we are just about ready to hit the road with this thing. I'm eager to see how it does with the new gears, and then the 1.5s that I'm going to still put on. I'm going to put the pinion and spur gear, and then when the new shaft comes in for the other gear, I'll do that. But I'm going to do the pinion and spur 1.5 now. So yeah, primarily what I'm getting for this, a couple minor aesthetic upgrades. They're not really for aesthetics though, they're really for support, because they're in critical places, like the bulkhead with all the hinge pins, and then the hinge pin turning them into bolts. But I'm doing primarily strength upgrades on this RC. I'm not really doing all this for aesthetics, because it already really looked good. I like the way that it looked, the way it came. They really did a lot on the Ultimate, like surprisingly a lot, because when you do the math, and everybody says this, every video I've seen, they say the same thing, but I did the math for myself because I'm just that way, and they really did put over $1,000 worth of stuff in here. That's their claim, that they put over $1,000 worth of add-ons in aluminum parts, and they really truly did. Even though they still didn't put a freaking aluminum chassis, I don't know why. Come on, dude, what's your problem? You're really a little bitch. Oh, there you go, you went back on, thank God. There we go, all right. That's in. Get my 2mm, tighten up all these 2mm. I mean, these 2mm, I mean, the M3 button head, which if you guys didn't see in my last video, any M3 screws, except for socket head, are 2mm. The low profile, the countersunk, the button head, all 2mm screws, 2mm heads. 2.5 for the socket heads. Same thing as you go up. In M4, they're 3mm socket heads and 2.5 everything else. M5, in M5 they're 4mm and 3mm and everything else. So it goes on and on. That's just how that's a universal thing. Okay, you gotta get screwed. I got a couple countersunks on the bottom that I have to get put back. Tighten this. And the other one. But yeah, this is just about done in the front, and then I'll finish up the back. And the differential's already built, so the back shouldn't take me too long. I just got to change those gears. And so yeah, the retaining compound, just go light on it, because they do recommend you use it with the helical gears, so it's not just me, but go light on it, because I use the stronger stuff, the 680. I had to heat it to get it off, and it had only been on for like, 45 minutes or something, so it just goes to show you that stuff really works. It's made from metal on metal, so especially with metal on metal, it really adheres well. Okay, that's that. Then I got the bumper. I gotta run this wire. This wire is actually I'm not gonna zip tie it all over the place and run it the way I want it, but I am gonna just take it through here. Oh, that's why that one wasn't working, duh. Oh no, I think I didn't unplug it because it's plugged in the other spot. No, I don't know why I wouldn't unplug it, but I could still leave it plugged in, it wouldn't matter. I'm thinking out loud about the lights, and I had my headlight stop working the other day, which is why I ordered a different one. But I don't know if it was actually me being a dummy or what. All right, yeah, this is for the white one. This is for the headlights. That's where that's gonna go. And then I have a light bar that I'm gonna put on top at some point. Okay. The little light bar is in the bumper, but I also have another, like, it looks like an actual truck light bar, like a light bar that you'd put on your truck or that I have on my truck. But it's a mini one. It's like 3 inches, but it looks just like a real one. So I thought it was cool. It was $15 on Amazon. But this one is the Traxxas one that fits right in the bumper, and it has the screw holes already there for it. It fits perfectly. And the back one is like that too. The back one fits perfectly in the roll cage that's built into the housing. All right, now I need the 2mm again for these two little things to hold the front of those pins. See, they've made those out of aluminum, these two little pin retainers for the front. Alright, and you're going right there. And then I got a couple of countersunk underneath, and I think I'm done up here. Oh no, I have the 2 mounts for the body clips, and then I'm done. All right, you're done. Now I need my 2.5, 4. I need those 2 countersunks underneath. All right, those are button heads. There's one of my countersunk, and the other one's sticking out, so that's good. We're good. I'm probably gonna have to take those back out to put the body protector on. Body protector, body support. What else do I have? These were, oh yeah, these are for the body mounts, that's right. And this piece goes in there. Might be the wrong side. Yeah, this one goes here. Oh no. Am I right? Oh no, wait, hold on, it's upside down if it is. No, that goes on the other side. Yep, this one goes in here. That goes up there. Oh, it has to go into this. That's how that stays as well. Okay, got that started. Okay, nice. Let's get this side started. Oh. This side started. Right there, right there. Put that down again. There you go, buddy. Let's get this one going. Alright, and then that screws into that centerpiece, and that's what holds that as well. Alright. Alright, let me just double check I got everything. Oh, I got two more that go right there. That's what those are for. Man, she reaching. I think I need a longer screw. It's fine. Duh. That would make sense. I probably use it somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow two of these, and then I'll go grab two brand new ones when I need them out of my stash. Oh, I have one of them in here, so I only need one actually. Why aren't you lining up? Well, you gotta go a little bit. There we go. That should go in. Okay. And this one. Okay. Oh, now this has to get tightened too. Okay, what's that? Oh, this one isn't seating completely on the steering. That's got to be pushed over a little bit. Oh, my zip tie is stuck in there, that's why. Go figure of all the places for it to end up. Let me just pull it out with this. If I can. Maybe I gotta lift that a little bit first. It's just breaking. Come on, get out of there. Of course, I had to pinch one of my zip ties in there. What are the chances? Especially without me seeing it. There we go. Oh, it's still not right in the hole. Line up. This is the front. This piece is going to be an aluminum piece soon too. This week when it comes. Because it holds the steering, and I feel like that's important enough to get it for. Well, that's got to be tweaked, but let me loosen these two just a little bit. and then the front too. And I should be able to get this up enough to get that in place. I still got a piece of that zip tie in there, that's the thing. See, this took me half this amount of time to take it apart, which that's usually the case. I guess that's to be expected. Get that piece of zip tie out of the way. I just need you to seat in that little hole, dude. Oh, you're just about there. There you go. Nice. Now it's nice and flush. The screw's still too short. All right, let me, oh, this is probably the one I need. Oh, that's definitely not that long. Where are you, dude? I got no freaking light over here. Alright, I'll come back to this with a light. Let me get back to the back and get this squared away. Alright, so where we left off is right there with the shaft, with the shaft gear for the differential. So now, same thing in the front that has that line on one side, so you can only put it in one side. And this Team Losi super tacky differential grease is unbelievable. Unbelievable. This stuff is so amazing. It's so thick, and I actually contacted them and said, guys, I can only find these 4cc little tiny containers of your super tacky gear differential grease. Do you sell like bigger containers of it? You know, I have no problem paying for it, like whatever, you know, you need to get for it. Because I also do a lot of machining and have a lot of uses, because this stuff is so thick and sticky, it's unbelievable. It makes the diff fluid look like water. It's unbelievable how thick and sticky this stuff is. And they said they don't, and I said, all right, well, nobody else has more than one or two in stock either. Do you guys have like 15 or 20 of them that I could buy? And they haven't gotten back to me yet that I know of. I got to check my email, but that was just last night. So it's a Saturday today. So we'll see. But yeah, this will be great for so many things for me. So many different things that I do that this type of grease is amazing for. Because it really stays. Like it's going to be on there. I'm just going to put a coat on the gear, and this will stay in here guaranteed until next time I open it. Okay, and I cleaned out all the old grease, so this is going to be the only thing in there. And it just goes on the gear like that, and that's more than enough. All right, and there we are. Yeah, let's see, look at it sticking to the other one. You see how it sticks like crazy. It's like a big stream going across from one gear to the other, and I didn't even put any on that other gear. That's just from it sticking. So then this is going to come out, and I'm going to do the mod 1.5, and I got to take that one off too. I have a new shaft coming in for this that's much thicker But for right now, I'm going to just, I don't need to take that gear off because I don't have the new one for that yet. So I'm going to swap out this gear here for the Mod 1.5 35 tooth. And this is 50 tooth. So 50 tooth to 35. I don't know what this one is. I have to find that out. Let's check. All right, let's take these differential parts, save that. With all my old differential stuff for this differential for this car. Let's see. And my gears are right here. Or no, are they? No, these are for the bottom part. That is the bottom part. Yeah, here they are. I put it right with this stuff. All right, so let me see where you got. Let's bring you guys over here. Make a little room on my bench. So this is the 46 tooth Mod 1.5. All right, 35 tooth rather. And then this one I got a 14. So 14 to 35, this is 50. I think it's going to be roughly about the same that way. We'll see. We'll see how it drives with it. I have other sizes for the pinion gear. We'll see if I like this one. It's got a nice big set screw too. Okay. Okay, that slid right off. Yeah, it looks like it's the same. It should fit perfect. Oh yeah, it does fit perfect. Wow, that's literally cut out right for this. That's beautiful. Okay. And then I'll just take the set screw out of the other one. After I tighten these down, I'll take that set screw out. And then at least I don't have to change these when the new shaft comes in. I can just take this off the shaft. Oh, actually, no, I think I have a new mount on the other shaft because this one has a smaller hole. But I mean, all this is stuff I could custom make. I could even honestly custom make these gears. I have the saw for my mill that cuts gears. It's just tedious to do when you're not CNC machining it. And even when you are CNC machining it, it's tedious to do by the time you write the program for it. I mean, once you write it, you just let the machine do its thing, but writing it is probably, sometimes I don't even write the program because I just can machine it faster doing it myself. And I use the manual mill, which is why I got that. Alright, let me take off that pinion gear, and I'm going to compare these two, which are pretty darn close. Right? It's not, I mean, the teeth are obviously bigger, but the gear is not much different. It's less teeth, but you just got to have the same ratio if you want to have the same speed. I wanted to change the ratio slightly and then change it a little more as I go to see which one I'm going to like. All right, but let's take that gear off. I need this, I think. Yeah, the 2mm, and then I need my needle nose because I got to get this C-clamp off. Oh man, I just had you little shit. Got it. Okay. I'm gonna slide off. we go. All right, now let's compare these two. All right, so that's the two pinions. They're pretty close too. But let's see, this has got 20 teeth, and this one has 14. So I'm losing 6 teeth here. I'm losing 15 teeth here. I'm losing 6, I'm losing 15. So it's like that's about 2.5. And this was, that's 20 to 50 was a 2.5 ratio. So this is probably going to be the same. That's probably why they send these sizes. But these both need to go from 8mm to 5mm. So that's what these are for. And I'll put some retaining compound inside of these to hold these together. So that's the last thing I need, is these coming apart, which I've seen a lot of people have issues with. Okay, so you put this right there where the set screw goes. So we're going to use some retaining compound on this to hold it inside. And this stuff really, really works. I had a hard time getting that other one out. That took me longer than taking the thing apart. Okay, so that hole's lined right up. Let me get the set screw in. This is a 2.5. Let's grab my 2.5. And then I'm going to get my red Loctite 277 for this bolt. For this set screw, rather. I'm just going to stick it in there and make sure that hole lines up. Why am I not going through the other one? Oh, it's a little bit that way. Okay, that should go through. And I kind of want a longer set screw because of that too. There we go, now it's going through. But I need a longer set screw that's not long enough. Alright, I'm going to grab my set screw kit and my Loctite. Oh, my 277's right here. Let me get my set screw kit so I can get the right length. Where is my kit of set screws? I have every different size set screw in a box somewhere. I don't know what I did with it last. It might be right over here. Or oh, it was right here. Let me pick you guys up a little bit. Okay, so I think that's an M5 because it's got a 2.5mm drive. So I want to go with one a little bit longer like this. I don't want crazy long, but longer. That should do. Yep, it's a M5. Perfect. Why aren't you going through that hole? Tell me I'm going to have to take this and machine it. I don't know if the thing isn't tapped all the way through or what. And the Traxxas stainless steel hardware kit is great. Like having stainless hardware, especially in small stuff like M3, is great. But all those M3 stainless in that whole box probably cost me 1.5 times what is in the Traxxas kit, and I probably have about 25 times what's in the Traxxas kit. There's 1 to 300 of each size, and there's not every size, but I got a lot of sizes, and they're like there's some countersunk, there's some. I think I only have countersunk and socket head because I prefer socket head. They don't strip as easy. Yeah, this won't go down. It won't go down any further. It needs to go down further. It has to go down further. So I got to get my M5 tap. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab just a manual tap. I'm not going to use the power tapper. I'm going to just grab my I don't think I need a bottoming tap, but I gotta check the thread pitch on this too. I think it's M5 0.7, maybe 0.8, 1.0. I gotta check that and be sure of it. And then I'm gonna run a tap through there so I can get all the way through that reducer that goes from the 8 to the millimeter and be able to hit the actual. Probably need to know how to tap a hole, but you never know. Sometimes you get these and they're not. I saw a guy online, and he got a set. He got like mod 2.0, which were really massive, but they didn't have. They had a tiny little hole. Like it must have been an M2 or an M3 set screw, which is crazy to be able to hold a gear like that on. It's even bigger than these. So I'm just going to put this in the vise in here. And I'm going to rethread that all the way through so that I make sure I can hit the shaft with it completely. Yeah, it wasn't threaded all the way through. I could feel it. I could see the shards from it. It was threaded most of the way and not at the end. That was pretty dumb. And the hole in the reducer is bigger than the hole for the set screw, so it wasn't that. Okay, well, it's through now. I'm gonna put some red Loctite in there. Put it right in the hole on this because I have access to it like that. Okay, there we go. Let me put this right on the pinion, right on the motor rather. Oh, you know what? I just gotta go the other way around. That's right. That's what those spacers are there for. I don't know if it's gonna be accurate with that. I might have to take those spacers off. Okay, yeah, that's on there. All right, well, this one is already on. And I don't really need to Loctite that. That should be fine. And let's see if they line up. Oh no, they totally don't line up. It's too big. But there's a way I have to move this. I did see that. There's, it's under the motor or the ESC. There's a way to set that. I have to look that up. I've never done it before on this one. I'm not too familiar with it, like I've told you guys. But what I am going to do is keep putting it back together, and then I'll pause it and I'll come back when I get the gear stuff figured. What's up, guys? Sorry, the camera died. So I was trying to fit the gears and the motor. It seemed like once I put the larger gear in. Sorry, air compressor. Once I put the larger gear in, that it was gonna mesh, and then once I tightened the motor, it didn't. So I need to make a small spacer, and it's got to be pretty darn small. So I'm gonna machine a piece of aluminum to space it. So I'm actually just gonna make. I'm not gonna even bother measuring the whole distance and all that. I'm just gonna make 4 small spacers, separate ones to go under each screw mount, because there's screw mounts underneath. And actually, I should probably make one plate. I should probably take the motor all the way off, and I'll make a piece of aluminum, and then I'll measure the whole distance, and then I'll make the slots. I'll make slots because it's going to be better to have it underneath the whole motor. I mean, unless I don't know, I'm up in the air. I would like to do the whole thing, but it's also more of a pain in the butt. Let's see. I'll probably cut a couple of pieces off of this, because I won't be able to do much else with this. I'm just going to cut this on my bandsaw real quick. You know, it would probably be real quick if I took the steel I have out of the vise on the bandsaw and actually viced it instead of trying to do it by hand. Alright, let's put that there. And then I need something over here to balance the vise. And I need one more piece. There we go, that'll do it. Okay. And that's going to have to go all the way up there. Okay, that should do it. And that's exactly where I wanted it. So I'll show you what I got, guys, what I did to my bandsaw. So I put a 3 horsepower motor on it. This is a 3 horsepower air compressor motor, but I put water cooling on it. So you see the copper pipe right there? That copper pipe goes around and it pours water right onto the blade as it's cutting, and then it drips right into here. And then there's a first stage drain where it fills it up, and then it overflows into the second stage, and this is machine coolant. It's diffusion coolant that I use in my CNC machine over here. So honestly, it would probably be faster to put it in this, even to control it manually. We'll see. I might do that. It's going through the aluminum pretty good though. Yeah, I might have a few layers to take off of this. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to mount a facing bit in here just in case I do. Yeah, I got the big facing bit in here too, for this one too, set up. Let me turn this on. So I'm gonna make the 4 squares for right now. If I don't like it, and if it doesn't work right, or it doesn't work well, I'll make one single piece, and I'll remeasure it. But for right now, I'm gonna try it with the 4 holes. I'll probably face it down to the height that I want it over here, which is not very high at all. It's just gotta lift it up a little tiny bit. So I'm just gonna face it in here, and I'll do the holes in the other machine. Let me lift you guys up a little bit so you can see what's going on. So now I have to get into my computer. My computer back here, this is really all I use it for, unless I'm looking other stuff up while I'm back here. I need a 1/2-inch collet. No, don't need a touch probe or a tool setter right now. Get my wireless pendant. Oh, I left it on and the batteries are dead. That's perfect. Son of a bitch. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Oh, I forget you guys can still hear me. I got my Sennheiser mic on, which has such a long range. I could literally talk to you from down the street. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what there is to see back there while I'm doing this, but it'll only be a second. Alright, let's put this open. No, Phillips. I don't even remember what batteries go in here. There's 2. The screwdriver, little need. looks like only two. Yeah, I'm going to charge these. I'm going to I'm going to take two more. Back there, and I keep it back there because my touch is wireless, so when it dies I just swap out the batteries. I keep a little electric precision screwdriver like this back there just to change them, and I would like to be able to do this with it. Not that this thing actually needs a screw because the big rubber thing goes over it afterwards. Probably wouldn't make any difference. Okay, and we're done. I'm on my way back. Alright. Okay, now it's on. It may be showing up on the screen already. This thing gets, yeah, it's got reception. It should be. Hewlett Packard support, no, I'll pass. Okay. Reset, home. Alright, let's let the machine home itself. I'll put you over here. Get my 1/2-inch collet. I'll put the batteries in here with my Touch Pro batteries. Nope, this drawer. There we go. And the screwdriver. And I'm going to use that vise because I need those taller parallels. Oops. But I also need to move it in more. This is why a CNC mill is so useful, because you can run CNC programs on it, but you can also use it as just a plain old mill, which I did a lot more frequently before I got my regular manual mill. Okay. Oh no, I need the machine side there. Okay, let's see if I can get this to crank down here, or if I gotta move it. Yeah, I gotta move it. So let's tighten this and see where it moves to. Nope, not there. Right there. Okay, now I can tighten this all the way down. This is how a lot of these low profile vices work. You know, you have like little divots that screw on the side tightens it down into, so that this part won't move, and then you can crimp it tight. But that's how you get all that distance, which is more distance than any of my other vices, and it's only 2 inches high, so it's pretty effective. Let me see if I have any taller parallels. I want to get it even higher. That's what I want right there. Yep, just give me just enough room to bite it. Oh, screw you. Tighten this a little more. get it started. I have another copper hammer back here somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure where it is. Alright, let's see. X. Y. Z. Actually, you know what? Let me bring it all the way up to me first. Put the facing bit in it. So this is an ER20 collet, if any of you guys know anything about machining, and I didn't have a surfacing bit like that to put in it, so I machined that out of an MT3 arbor, I want to say it was, and I machined it into that and made myself a. It went to MT3 into that surfacing bit mount, which fits multiple surfacing bits. It fits my other 2-inch bit. This is a 3-inch, so it'll cover that whole thing in one pass, which is nice. But yeah, so I made that arbor for it because I needed a way to mount bigger surfacing bits on this machine, and it worked out well. Did that on the lathe. Obviously, that's a lathe job. Okay. All right, let's kick that spindle on. Give it at, that's about 5,200 RPM. All right, so we're gonna go down a little slower. We're gonna turn the increment down. We're gonna move it over first. Now I'll turn the increment down pretty low and go to Z. And wait till I just touch off, and now I'll start doing passes with it. I can go a little bit deeper than with the other mill. This one is a hell of a lot more rigid. As you can see, it just tears that aluminum up like it's not even there. All right, we'll go back to Z, go back down an increment, bring it down a little bit. Go back to X, go back up an increment. I could have gone more than that. All right, back to Z, a little slower, down. And go back to X, a little faster, back. All right, and back to Z, slower and down. Go a little further this time, go back to X, back across. Totally went even deeper. I mean, this machine is so capable, man. It's able to go through titanium and like crazy hard materials. I actually was going to reduce the gear ratio more. It's a 2-to-1. I was going to make it a 3-to-1 to gain some speed. I did. Oh, that was a little too deep. I did, and it took away so much torque that I had wished I hadn't. So, all right, no big deal. I just got to reset the spindle so that it shuts off the alarm on the spindle motor. Make sure these teeth are okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right. I probably wasn't too deep. I just went into it too fast. Oh, actually, that set my alarm off on those motors. Yeah, it shut my. I got to power down the system because it triggered the alarm on the servo motors on the motion system as well. the ClearPath servos have, well, actually all servos, but I didn't have it hooked up where I had the feedback from the motion system motors hooked up, and then I upgraded they weren't servo motors. It came with stepper motors, and then I ended up installing. First, I installed like easy servos from Stepper Online, and then they actually worked well and it was good, but I wanted to try the ClearPath, and these things are like crazy powerful. It moves faster than it ever did. That's why it can choke too, if it's moving that fast. I mean, I was only going 5,000 RPM. If I was going 8,000, it probably would have blew right through it, which this can go 8,000 the way it is. So let's see, turn that back on. And all right, let's just turn this back on. Maybe I didn't shut that down for long enough for it to reset. That's why. One of those teeth definitely has a chip. I just didn't see it, because I can hear it. But also I could turn the water cooling on. That would be helpful too. Just go down a little bit. All right, let's go to the X and bring it over. See where I'm hitting. All right, go back to Z. Go down. Normally, even at full speed, it won't make noise. That's one of those teeth chips. Let's see. Yeah, the flood coolant makes a big difference. I'm going a little faster too, speed-wise, but I'm cutting deeper than I just did with where I choked it. Yeah, that's already down further than all those passes combined. The coolant makes a huge difference, and the speed makes a huge difference. But I just wanted a nice little skinny piece that's nice and flat. Nice and perfect, so they'll be even on all four sides, and that's it, all done. And then, but this machine is great. It's a lot of fun. You can, I mean, it's a lot of fun, but you got to know what you're doing. But I mean, everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes. Obviously, you can just watch me make one. But I'm gonna leave it on just in case I decide to make something after this. Now that I got a taste of it, I might wanna keep going. But this is the manual mill, so It does, well, a lot of it's not manual. You can raise it and lower it automatically, and I did that. I put a motor on it, and let's see. And then I did that for the x-axis, so it goes left and right like that too. But as far as CNC, like you can't send a program to this and have it cut the whole part itself like you can with that. Let's see. What size holes am I going to need? Probably fairly small, so I'm going to use a 5/16. So I'm not even going to use a collet. I'm just going to put it in the drill chuck. I'm going to cut it with that, and I'm going to drill the holes with that. See, this vise won't get nearly as big as those. Those two vices get like, I don't remember what the measurement is. I want to say it's like 18 inches. This only goes open to 6. Because you see the size of this block, and even the height of it is so much higher. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do, I'll drill 4 holes and then I'll cut it in half twice. See, but when I have the time, I'll just take my time, and like I would have just made a whole new motor mount. And I'm not saying I'm not going to. I might actually end up still doing that. Who knows? Because if I'm not happy with this, then I'm not going to be happy with it, and I'll end up doing something. And motor mounts get expensive enough that it's kind of almost worth making your own. I don't know. I got to see how much they get up to, but it might be worth making my own. So this is on the low speed high torque setting. I could change the belt and this will go a little over 3,000. So it's only going half that right now, 1,500 RPM. So that's why I got to take slow cuts, even in thin aluminum, because aluminum likes to be cut fast. It likes to be cut really fast. That's why 18,000 RPM would be good for aluminum. But really, aluminum's the only thing it would be good for, because steel and titanium and all those really hard metals, and even the harder metals that I don't really deal with, like Inconel and Monel and like all those really exotic metals, they cut really slow too. Or not really slow, but they cut, actually, I might be wrong about that. They have like a mixture of copper and nickel and a bunch of stuff that cuts more like aluminum does. So they might actually be better fast. I might be wrong about that. But commercial CNCs that cut that kind of stuff can go like, I mean, at least 10, 15,000 RPM, depending on what the machine's made for, what type of material it's made for. But yeah, I probably should have changed the belt. I probably should change the belt anyway, because only once in a while do I do stuff that I need to have it on like the real high torque. Yeah, see, it doesn't want to And once it just, like, once it starts folding up, the vise isn't holding anything anymore. It's got no more rigidity for it to hold. But I can just sand those little pieces off. All right, let's take those. That's 2. I'm gonna have to cut those down anyway. The screw will fit through no problem. And I do want it to be, actually I'll just smooth them, I'll just cut the corners off because I do want them to be not like only the size of the hole. I want it to have like a chunk of the motor underneath it. I don't want it to be like, you know, just right underneath that hole. I'd like it to be underneath the whole motor, and I may come back and do that. If this is good, I'll leave it. I just got to see how the gears mesh after I do this, and if they mesh well, then I'll leave it, and if they don't, then I'll make a whole new spacer or a whole new motor mount. That's about as far as I'm gonna get. Yeah, right there. All right, and then I'll cut these off square on the bandsaw. Let's see, I'll show you. So the bandsaw, when it's upright, you can use it that way. You can cut vertical like this. You can leave it like that. And then also you can get one of these things if you need a bandsaw to make cuts like this. You can get one of these for a little bandsaw. That's my cordless Milwaukee bandsaw. Can you guys, where are you? Can you see it? Yeah, right there. That's my cordless Milwaukee. And it's that's a frame that holds it. It goes up and down like a miter saw with a bandsaw. But also it can go all the way up and do vertical cuts like I'm about to do on this. So to see how it's standing up right now, there's actually a plate that goes on here to give it a table, but I never really put that on. It's not a crazy sharp blade, so you don't have to be too worried, as long as you're careful and you know what you're doing. But even if it cuts you, it's not going to like cut your hand off or something. It's not like a circular saw, like what did this to my arm. If you guys can see that, if you can see that, I don't know. It was 14 double mattress stitches. It's kind of healed pretty well. You see it? That was 14 double mattress stitches. I was making a cut with a circular saw in an awkward position, and it caught my sleeve. It got the sleeve of my shirt. The shirt's hanging up over here somewhere. It caught the sleeve of my shirt and pulled my arm in, and you know, there's nothing I could do. I mean, it's just sucked my arm right in. So that was not fun. It was actually scary as hell. I thought I was going to lose my arm. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. They were like telling me that I might have to have surgery, that like I could lose my arm. And when the doctors and the paramedics on the way there are like acting nervous, it makes you really freaking nervous. It makes me really nervous. I'm usually not too squeamish about injuries to myself. I am with other people, oddly enough, when other people have injuries. Actually, that's not true. I am squeamish seeing other people's injuries, but when they get hurt, I'm quick to jump into action and help them. But, you know, I don't think about it till afterwards, but I'm very squeamish looking at my own cuts, but not taking care of myself when they're bad, when they're really bad cuts, not when they're superficial. That one I was really scared to look at. That one was, my fiance took a picture of it. But if I had it, I would maybe show you. I don't know if you'd want to see it. It was pretty gruesome. I got to undo those screws now. It was very gruesome. In fact, it was incredibly deep and all kinds of stuff like hanging out. It was not cool. But some people like that stuff. My fiance was all into it. I mean, she was in nursing school at the time, so she, I mean, it made sense for her to be into it, but. And she's since become a nurse. She's doing great. Okay, I think they're out. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and then it's got these pins. Oh, shoot. I think I could move the pins and that would move it, right? Oh, yeah, because this is... Oh, shit. Why didn't I look into that? I didn't even know those pins were there. Son of a bitch. I don't know how to... Let me try to go to speed. C. And C. And see where that lines it up. Is that a smaller gear? I don't know. I didn't buy it brand new, so I didn't get the gears. Yeah, no, that's worse. It must be smaller. Is it worse? No, it's not. Oh, shit. I don't even think I needed that. It's not tight enough, though, now. There's got to be... I need a freaking diagram. That pin just fell, really? Where the hell did that one go? I need a diagram of what those pins do. Traxxas XRT stock/speed pins, location and diagram. Hopefully that gets me what I need. Uses a 23:46 gear ratio according to relates to a 2.0 gear ratio. The speed pins are located on the motor mount, typically in a position that allows the pinion gear to mesh with the spur gear. The optional high-speed gearing included with XRT also uses a 2:2.0 ratio, but with a different tooth count. According to a Reddit thread, this video demonstrates how to install the optional high. I'm gonna have to make or buy a motor mount, I think, because that new motor is going to be so much bigger. And I don't even know how the ESC is going to work out. A lot of people did that, at least, so I can do some research. No, this guy's not even doing that. What the hell was it? Relevant was that? I don't even have the owner. I didn't buy this brand new. I think I told you guys I bought it on Marketplace. Anyways, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting while I'm doing this. I'm going to do some research and see if I need to mount those things and space it, because I know if I space it up that amount, I'll be fine. I'll have plenty of room and I'll be able to slide it right into place and still have enough room with sliding it. So I might just put those in and take all the pins out. But if the pins, they'll locate it really good, so that's why I'm considering keeping them, because as soon as I saw those and the holes in the bottom, that locates it really well. So if I can get that in the right place, I'm going to try it. But I'll bring you guys back. I got this mainly together, the gearbox is together, the gear covers are on, because that's got the main gear on it already. So until I get the bigger shaft for it, then I won't need to take that off, or the drive shaft that I have coming. But the drive shaft's going to be several days. It's Amazon's the only one that gets here in a day, and then there's a holiday coming up, so it'll probably be the end of the week, and it's Saturday today. So anyways, I may just end up lifting it up with these, or making a riser for the whole size. I have a caliper over here. I don't even have to go back there and get one. I want to see if I can get these pins to work. But anyways, I'll bring you guys back when it's done and I got it outside driving. All right, later.